This episode's a dull one. I'm saying it now because the rest of this video might come off as me forcing myself to stay awake through this whole episode. That's because I kind of am. This is normally one I skip on rewatches. Okay, check out these nameless background characters again. That's something that can be good in these filler towny episodes. Also, when I talked about the movable stage and historical friction, people in the comments jokingly mentioned how Mr. Smiley does it all, but now I can see it's not a joke. Mr. Smiley basically keeps this town running. He does everything. Also, if Beach-a-Palooza sounds familiar, it's because it's the same festival that happened in Stephen and the Stevens. I can only assume it's not an annual event because I've talked about time passing in the show, and we're way past a year since the events of Stephen and the Stevens. Honestly, I'm still not sure if that episode is even canon. The nut dog lives on. Someday. Someday I'll cook up and eat one of these. I've got some Thai peanut sauce that I think would actually make it not half bad.
I can't help it if I make a scene. Stepping out of my hot pink limousine, I'm turning heads and I'm stopping traffic. When I pose, they scream, and when I joke, they laugh. I gotta...
3 things about this song. It's sung by Olivia Olson, the voice actress for Marceline in Adventure Time. It's heavily based on the Miley Cyrus song Party in the USA, with almost the exact same guitar line. And it plays 3 goddamn times in this episode. Not that it's a bad song, but like, Mr. Greg is coming up, you can fill an episode with music and not reuse any songs. If Lars just left, why did Sadie decide that it was time to leave the counter and stock boxes in the back room? Oh, she was already back here and Lars left without telling her. Yeah, that sounds like a Lars thing to do. This is the pinnacle of the Sadie's ass looks like a face meme. I remember so many people talking about it or posting edited screenshots when this episode came out. What people weren't noticing is that this radio also looks like a face. What's going on? Why does Steven look so big in this shot? Is this a problem with scale, or is he normal size and I'm going crazy?
I wasn't...
I didn't know you could sing.
Nobody does.
This sentiment used to bug me. I always thought, can't everyone sing? And then I met a few different people with no ear for music and I thought, oh. For the record, I can sing, but I don't. I prefer my instruments.
I'm just going around helping Mr. Smiley hand out flyers for Beach-a-Palooza this year. You should sign up.
Why?
Because your voice is beautiful.
And it's fun? Performing is fun. God, I wish I had an excuse to get up in front of an audience again. A real-life audience, not an online one. Someday I'll host a panel at a con or something, I don't know.
Aw, really? You think people would want to hear me sing?
Of course they would. You're great. Besides, everyone in town is doing something.
Notice how everyone in town never includes the gems? In fact, the gems don't show up at all in this episode. I think that's why towny episodes feel disconnected a lot of the time. They don't involve the gems or magic or tie into the rest of the show's plot. The best towny episodes always involve cool gem stuff or the gems themselves, like Frybo or Horror Club.
Your house is so cool.
Just down here.
Whoa, you sleep in a basement?
Cozy as fuck. Let's take a look. Evil Bear 2 poster, that was the movie they watched in Horror Club. A cactus near the only window. Another poster that says RoboCat. I have to guess that's somehow related to Dogcopter with the same font and all. And a CRT to top it all off. Are we going to get to a point where kids see these CRT TVs and not have a clue what they are?
So, now we have the CD. I guess I can practice singing.
Did she go and buy a CD? Was she not listening to a CD or a tape at the Big Donut? Or was that the radio? It looked like she hit a button to stop a tape.
First, we gotta figure out what you're gonna wear.
Does it matter?
Ever since my act 2 years ago, there's been a rule that you've gotta wear clothes.
What the fuck does that mean? I hope he didn't do a reenactment of the ending of Frybo. God, I'm talking about Frybo and Horror Club a lot in this episode. I think it's me subconsciously wanting to go and watch a different episode.
Oh, maybe this? Or maybe even...
That one's pretty.
Sadie has worn this dress once before in Watermelon Steven. It's not very Sadie, though, is it? I don't know, I'm not a fashion expert, at least not professionally.
I just had to rush home to show you this. Look at this little guy I got for you.
I love you, Wodes. Have fun with that voice clip.
Barb, I knew you delivered mail, but I didn't know you delivered Sadie.
Smooth. Kinda weird, but smooth.
Best dang mailman, woman, or animal animal on the force. At least until they catch me taken from the lost mail bin. But that's between us, huh?
Okay, I can tell you that Barb is not involved in the Big Donut conspiracy because she's too sloppy. If she keeps doing that, she's gonna get investigated, which might be a slippery slope into an investigation of the whole city government. I don't know, so far it seems like Barb and Steven are the only ones not part of this underground drug smuggling operation that I made up.
Oh, look! It's your old ballet outfit.
You're a ballerina?
When I was like 10.
Oh, it's your swimsuit. She used to be a competitive swimmer.
For like a month when I was 11.
How old is Sadie? I've always thought she's in her early 20s, but some people think she's a teenager. She's definitely older than Lars. You cannot convince me otherwise. I say she's 20, minimum.
Remember when I used to drive you to your softball games?
I remember when you punched the umpire.
That's what he gets for trying to cheat my daughter out of a double!
Barb absolutely belongs in an Adult Swim spin-off, just so they'd be allowed to show her getting in fights and saying fuck. Apparently her voice actress played a character on The Office, which I haven't seen and wasn't planning on watching, but I hope she says fuck in that show. Look at them go! Why don't Steven and Barb do their own show? Oh, I guess that's the point of this episode. They're making Sadie do it because they want to do it themselves. And, you know, Steven ends up doing it, but we'll get to that. Sadie's point of view rule?
We just need to tell Mr. Smiley to add her name to the flyer.
Oh, maybe don't put my name on it.
I get really annoyed at this trope, where characters are turned away from a camera when they're talking in anticipation of a dramatic change to their face. Not only is Sadie's face change not that dramatic, it's revealed after like a minute. Whoa, how did this happen so fast? How do they print off new flyers and post them up everywhere? Whoever organized this must have had to adjust the performance lineup for some special mystery guest. What was the timeline of this episode? This had to have taken longer than a week or two. Dewey looks pissed in this shot. Who pissed in your Cheerios?
You know this next act from their day job delivering pizza, but tonight they're delivering jokes.
Rest in peace, Sinbad. He's not actually dead, he just didn't come back to play Mr. Smiley after the end of season 1. At least they gave him a new voice, instead of leaving him voiceless, like Sugalite.
How does a pizza tie its shoes? How? With a garlic knot.
All right.
What the fuck, their act was to tell one joke and leave? Well good, cause that joke was terrible.
Well, we're getting closer to tonight's mystery guest. Even I don't know who it is, and I'm the host.
Mr. Smiley says he doesn't know who the guest is, so he definitely didn't make the schedule for this festival. I bet it was Dewey. I bet that's the one useful thing he does in this city. And why he was so pissed off earlier. I'd be pissed off too if I had to rearrange the schedule to fit some mystery guest in.
Ronaldo Fryman with a lecture on rock people, identification and defense.
I guess Beach-a-Palooza is like a reverse TED event. You know how TED Talks are usually serious, but sometimes they'll have someone do a comedy act, like James Veach. Beach-a-Palooza seems like it's supposed to be primarily entertainment, but they'll let in someone who wants to do a TED-style lecture. Maybe it's just anyone who lives in Beach City is allowed to perform.
Oh, my Sadie, such a big star! Never even went to the prom, and look at you now!
Am I on yet?
Yeah, she's hideous. Or do I have bad taste? Nah, all of this is too far. They made her look like shit.
Your mailman and mime, Jamie.
I can't say I've ever seen a good mime performance. I'm sure they exist, but the trope is always that the mimes are boring and they always do the box. If mimes exist, they can't be totally boring. Someone has to enjoy them enough for them to still be a thing.
Let's work on the routine.
Okay, just let me.
Oh no! You ruined my lipstick!
What kind of cheap-ass lipstick comes off after drinking 1 cup of water? Mind you, I know nothing about makeup, so it could be every lipstick ever, and I wouldn't know.
Please, Mom, don't make me do this.
Make you? You said you wanted to sing.
You're damn right she did. I get tired of these plots where a character starts planning something, then when the other characters start going overboard, they fail to say, hey, you're going overboard, until the last minute. I feel like I've seen this exact same premise done hundreds of times. It's so overdone at this point.
How did I let this happen? I don't want to do this.
I'm glad the episode doesn't pretend that it was all Barb and Steven's fault that she ended up getting far enough to have this breakdown. I think it's one part Steven and Barb being overbearing, and an equal part Sadie not stopping them before this point.
Give it up for
The camera cuts away for like 2.5 seconds. In that amount of time, Steven manages to put on Sadie's outfit, makeup, and make it on stage before the camera cuts back. I know, editing magic, but I always thought this was kind of funny. Also, this is not the last time Steven dresses in drag.
Haven't you noticed I'm a star? I'm coming into view as the world is turning. Haven't you noticed I made it this far?
The episode ties off showing that Sadie isn't turned off singing at all, which comes back much later in the show. However, I have to ask why this episode exists. Why here? We're in the middle of Peridot, Malachite, and now these fusion monsters, and here we are putzing around with Sadie during a music festival. No mention of magic or gems or anything like that. It feels like this episode belongs in a different show with how disconnected it feels from the rest of the world. I can even forgive an earlier episode, Love Letters, because at least it's connected to characters from the rest of the show. Sadie ultimately doesn't matter. I'm sorry, but nothing Sadie does in this show is connected to anything else. Maybe it would have been better if they went through with making her roommates with Lapis later. Yeah, did you know that was something left on the cutting room floor? I just think this was a dull episode, and the spot it gets in this season kind of kills the momentum that was going on. But if you want to see new videos from me a week before they premiere on YouTube, you can subscribe to my Patreon for just a couple bucks. The link is in the description as always. Biggest shoutouts go to my Grandmaster patron, Scala LD, Grandmaster of Geopositioning, no satellites needed. And to my Master patron, Geeky Game Guru, Master of the USB flash drive. Never once have they tried to plug it in upside down. And shoutouts to my Journeyman patrons, Henri Wickers, Bethany Aldridge, Bippy121, Boomblorp, Cool Waffle, Dr. Moon, Fox Certified, Glingle123, Horsey Jumper, Loga, Marsh, Max Buchek, Netabag, Roberty, Sam Bishop, Silly Alien Lady, The Cloaked Goat, The One True Fusion, Tricky Van Ricky, Why Does the Big Donut Have Corkboards? No Stockroom Has That, The Conspiracy Is Real, Wingo Dingo, Yotawo, and ZT the Fish Guy. Next episode is Catch and Release, and then it's like pure cinema until the end of the season.